Wokeism, 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 everywhere you go. If you go woke, you go broke. Disney introducing another woke version of Snow White, which was great just as is in the animated film, and now it has nothing to do with the original Grimm fairy tale. But, hold on there, they have competition. Conservative independent news and media outlet DailyWire has officially announced that they are creating their very own Snow White, with, by the way, someone who actually looks like a Snow White. Let's dive in. And welcome back, or welcome to, another episode of America's Dummies. I'm Kyle McClure, and joining with me, as always, is the one, the only, Mr. Lone Wolf. What's going on, man? Howl at the audience, if you will.
Oh, no, doing good, man. Trying to get into this, I'm not too big on the topic, right?
That's true.
But,
That's true.
Snow White versus Snow White.
Yeah, Disney
We're
versus
going to see a fight
DailyWire.
in 2024.
That's going to be interesting, yeah, because they both come out in 2024.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nice.
The numbers on, you're going to pay attention to that, huh? You're going to be like,
yes.
box office.
Yeah, the box office, not to mention Daily Wire, theirs is being released on their platform, though. They may end up releasing it on Twitter like they did with one of their What's a Woman documentary. So, but before we dive into that, let's go ahead and real quick remind the audience that you can go ahead and click, if you don't mind, do us a favor. Go ahead and go online. If you're online, watching, listening, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, YouTube or Rumble, or wherever you're listening or watching. Don't forget to click the like button. That also helps us with the algorithm. And please, please, please turn on the notification bell and share this with your friends, so that way you never miss a new episode, and that way you can share with your friends and family our wonderful expert opinions, because everybody wants to hear them, right?
Our dummy opinions.
Yeah, everybody wants to hear the opinions of random people on the internet. Mm-hmm. That's why we have the internet. So do us a favor.
Ever.
Exactly. So go ahead and do us a favor and click the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And if you'd like to go ahead and support us too, because this show does not happen without you. So if you'd like to go ahead and support us, please do so by going to get your America's Dummies, your official America's Dummies merch at our Printify shop, custom URL pending, if you will. And so we don't have anything to share with you on that, other than the link to get your merch is in the description below. Be careful, because sometimes YouTube doesn't allow us to have embedded links in there, so you may have to copy and paste. So I know, stupid, but if you would like to support us, please go ahead and do so. We got some nice stuff for you. Tumblers, mugs, t-shirts.
Coffee cups.
Water
Water bottles.
Well, that's a mug. Stickers, magnets, whatever your heart desires, we have it available for you. So please go ahead and support us. And without further ado, let's dive right into the topic. Snow White versus Snow White. Which one wins? By the way, one of the Snow Whites, played by Rachel Zegler, the Disney version, is not white. She is Colombian in something mix. Starts with a P. Polish. Colombian-Polish mix. Which I know some of you may be like, oh, wow, racist. How dare you? So what?
You know, we're
Snow
not
White,
racist.
it's in the name.
We're not racist. It's just Snow White is as white as snow.
Snow. That's the whole reason why she's called Snow White. I mean, we have, as you can tell, if you're watching, I bought this actually in preparation and also because I want it. This is the original, this book right here, if you're watching, which is right in front of, right behind Niles. Hi, say hi, Niles. Anyways, you have this book. This is Grimm's Fairy Tales. It's a complete collection of all the Grimm's fairy tales, fables, all that, right? And the Grimm brothers are the ones that created they wrote the little Snow White. They wrote it down after the story had been passed down. You know, it's an oral story from generation for generation for, many, many people and many, many years.
Like the boogeyman.
Like the boogeyman, or maybe a lot of people know Homer did that with the Odyssey, which is Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so the little Snow White is based on, a queen who is looking outside at the snow, and she says, "I would love a daughter as white as the snow.
Yeah.
I would love it if she was as red as blood." I guess referring to her lips. So white as snow, red as blood, and hair as black as, or ebony hair, as black as the window sill that she was staring out of, right? So that's where it comes from. And therefore, she got what she wanted. So, and Disney made a story.
Described her.
Yeah, and Disney made a story based on that fairy tale, an animated movie in 1937, right? It was originally going to cost them like $2 million, but it cost them 25. People were saying it's going to break Disney. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be awful.
In 37, it was a motion picture?
Yeah, it was an animated TV show or movie. And there were multiple people that quit. Some people were gonna quit. And so there's a lot of contention around this movie. And a lot of people thought it was gonna break Disney Studios, right? It was gonna be awful, right? It wasn't gonna help them. But it turned out to be the best and most successful thing that they could have done as a company, and it propelled them forward into, unfortunately, what is Disney today, which is no longer, doing business based on Walt Disney's vision for the country or for the company.
I mean, I'll have more to say once the trailer actually comes out.
The official, not the
teasers, because it's like they're throwing stuff in there from other movies and stuff.
Yeah, well, that teaser that we saw earlier, that one has some from the actual movie. Mm-hmm. It's just it's not complete, so you get snippets and you don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance that the teaser, if it's not released directly from Disney, it is from other snippets of their work.
The one the DailyWire released, I needed more.
Well,
but I thought it was pretty good.
They'll probably release it closer to the release of the movie, right? Because they just announced that they're doing it with their new Bent Key children's.
It was just
content.
basically an announcement trailer, pretty much.
It is, yeah. And the woman that they got it, Brett Cooper, who is
she turns
beautiful
around to the camera and just grins.
Yeah, and as you can see right here on the overlay, conservative media streaming platform making its own version of Snow White, which is DailyWire, which for those of you who don't know, they're an independent conservative media / entertainment outlet, and they also create movies and documentaries and stuff like that.
They're getting big.
They're getting big for that, and they're going to create their own Snow White, which is going to try and stay as true as possible to the movie, or not the movie, the fairy tale.
Yeah,
and
as it should.
As you can see, this is a kind of a still of the image, whatever the profile image of the movie. Brett Cooper, who black hair, and this is what she looks like. She has her own show called The Comment Section with Brett Cooper. So her hair black, she's white, and they obviously put lipstick on her, but she looks like an ideal Snow White. I mean, she pulls it off, and she was and is going back into acting. So I think this one could be really good if they play their cards right. I don't know. But the main thing about this whole Snow White versus Snow White is because there's a lot of controversy about the Disney one, especially with the fact that they're going away from the traditional story, right? There's no longer the 7 dwarves. It's 7 magical creatures of different genders and ethnicities, right? It's no longer going to have a Prince Charming who is a love story between Snow White and the prince who saves her with a true love's kiss. It's about a woman's bravery. It's about a woman's desire to be the leader that she knows she can based on her late father, right? Which I don't understand why they're trying to rebrand it and do all that. I mean, hell, the Disney came out with a quote saying in response to some of the backlash in terms of what they're doing with the movie, Disney said it was taking a different approach to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original film.
Look, if you want to, like the women part where, she wants to be the leader that she can be and, whatever. If you're aiming that for girls that they can, aspire and do whatever they put their mind to, that's fine. But do it your original way, like your own way. Don't
create
take
a different story. Create a different princess.
Exactly. Don't take something that's been on the books, that movie's been made, that people loved, obviously.
Yeah. And still love to
change
this
it.
day, and still love the original story. That tell their kids,
Like,
read their kids the original story.
Which one of the 7 dwarves was a female?
None of them. I mean, because they're men that worked in a coal mine.
And I can,
Or
equality and all that. Yeah, don't change old stories.
And why are you trying to indoctrinate kids into that? This isn't for adults. This is for kids. They want to indoctrinate kids into a very specific woke and left-leaning ideology perspective. Mm-hmm. For what purpose? I don't know. I really don't.
So they can go protest pro-Palestinian.
Jeez. Yeah.
Different
topic. Or protest that they're being oppressed by the male patriarchy, which is like, okay, prove it.
It's the white supremacists that are keeping you down.
Yeah. It's something with something causing something. I'm the victim, blah, 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 blah.
By the way,
right?
I'm brown and my friend's white.
Yeah. You can't tell.
He oppresses me all the time.
Yeah. Word.
I don't know. I have a problem with them changing it. Like,
so yeah, what stereotypes?
Create your original.
What stereotypes?
I guess they're talking about the dwarfs.
No, I think it has. Well, and that they probably are, but at the same time, what stereotypes are you afraid of reinforcing? Mm-hmm. Dwarves? They're called dwarves because they're small people. Yeah. Right. Snow White, she's white. That's the whole point of the thing, because the family was white. By the way, whole reason, by the way, they say, I have a bone to pick with the trailer that we saw, though. They said slave in the mirror. Slave in the mirror.
Slave as in SLAVE?
Yeah, slave in the mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? I can guarantee you they're going to choose a black person to put in there. I can guarantee it. All because of this.
Isn't the mirror black?
I don't know.
Like the frame.
It doesn't say in the book. It just says looking glass.
The animated movie.
The anime. I don't remember. It's been so long since I watched it. I was a kid when I watched it, if I even did. Hell, I don't remember.
Here they are calling. We need to be inclusive and whatnot and
diversity,
whatever.
Right? But they're trying to.
You're calling a mirror slave.
Slave in the mirror, basically saying the oppression of the monarchy or whatever, right? And it's of course the black people suffering at the hands of the white people, blah blah blah, right? But the thing is, the people that they have playing the evil queen and Snow White, okay, Snow White being played by Rachel Zegler, who is not white, and then you have Gal Gadot, beautiful as can be, who is not white, playing the evil queen. Which, by the way, the whole point of the movie is Snow White is under threat of being killed from the queen from the beginning, because the queen is envious of the fact that she's not the prettiest and the fairest of all the land. Mm-hmm. Snow White is. So out of envy, she goes to kill Snow White. She hires the huntsman. She tries to kill her with the poisonous apple, poisonous comb, right? I mean, she wants to be the prettiest and fairest of them all, the evil queen, right? Okay, in the movie, the evil queen is the prettier one. Okay, literally, even with makeup and all makeup on and makeup not on. Gal Gadot is so much more attractive than Rachel Zegler.
They should have thought about that, but then again, they said that they're changing up the story where the evil queen is not.
But you cannot change
her down.
The story and keep the name. That's why I'm super excited to see what DailyWire is able to do, because DailyWire, they want to continue to stay as true as possible to the original story, because they grew up reading those stories. Brett Cooper, she didn't watch the original Disney animation. She didn't watch a lot of Disney growing up, right? She read a lot of the original fairy tales, a lot of the original fables. And Jeremy Boring, one of the co-CEOs of the company, he wants to stay as true as possible and get rid of the and give more kids non-indoctrinated, non-woke
just
entertainment.
Normal human stuff.
It's to help with the imagination, and I don't know what you're doing is all political and is all cultural. It's not about fostering the imagination and creativity and the beauty of these stories for the kids. Yeah. That's what it's about. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with having a true love story. Everybody was trying to find love, yet you're trying to say that this prince could be cut. The main actress playing Snow White, Rachel Zegler, saying that the prince could be cut. It's not calling him a stalker. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and play the video. Let's play a video of an interview that she had in regards to the Snow White. It's about 45 seconds, but let's see what she has to say. And this is also one of the interviews and one of the many things that she has said that has sparked a lot of backlash, and the fact that people just don't want to see this woke, ideological, political bullshit in their kids' content. They want to see a nice, loving, peaceful, and it's just a feel-good entertainment movie for everyone, especially their kids. Mm-hmm. But let's see what she had to say that has sparked so much controversy and has actually led to a lot of backlash to Disney and future films for her.
Oh, yeah.
So let's take a look real quick.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Right there. All of his scenes could get cut. It's Hollywood, baby. So she obviously wants it to get cut. To me, it's what she sounds like. Mm-hmm. It's what it sounds like. But, so it's not about a love story. It's
not about Snow White.
It's not about Snow White
being as white as snow.
White as snow, which it's not really about her being as white as snow. It's more about her being one of the prettiest in the land, yeah. And an envious queen trying to kill her for the fact that the queen wants to be the prettiest in the land. By the way, what's the official title for the Snow White movie? Do you know? For the Disney Snow White, the one coming out.
Not sure.
Because the one for there, even the difference in the title says a lot, because it is DailyWire is calling it Snow White and the Evil Queen, where I think it looks like they're literally just calling it Snow White. Yeah, Snow White. That's it. Yeah, great. Okay. Because I think the original animated one was called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Or maybe just Snow White. I don't know. Either way. But by the way, the whole aspect of Snow White is it's not about her journey to leadership. It's not about her journey through oppression, finding bravery, or finding who she is as a leader. It's not about that. It's literally about her trying to live and avoid the evil that is the queen from trying to kill her. And then at one point she eats an apple, falls asleep, and then there was they thought she was dead, so they encased her body in this magical coffin where you could see through it, right? And there's a prince coming through and saw her up on the mountain and asked the dwarves, she's so beautiful, she's the fairest, can I please bring her to my kingdom and I'll honor her. And during the trip, by the way, it was the kiss, the true love's kiss, was actually a little bit of a twist, because what happened in the story is that on their way to the kingdom, they tripped, right? The servants were carrying her. They tripped, and it moved the case, and it moved her, and the apple unlodged from her mouth. Right? Mm-hmm. And so that's how she began to wake. But, she ended up falling in love with the prince as well. And then they lived happily ever after. And eventually they did at the wedding, the evil queen was invited to the wedding, and she ended up, I guess, dancing in some hot iron sandals or something like that, and ended up dying. Right? So that's essentially what happened. But then the Disney decided to put more to it and make it a little bit more. They put more imagination to it, put more creative to it, and invoked more emotion into it, and said this is a love story. Why are you trying to make it anything but? That's what I don't understand.
Well, it's a story about her actually, not getting killed because she's the prettiest.
Yeah.
And she made friends and found love along the way.
Yeah. Which, by the way, like I said, Gal Gadot, so much prettier than Rachel Zegler. so much prettier.
Yeah.
And I think many people will agree with that.
I agree with that.
So I think they're making a big mistake with this. I mean, hell, okay, I'll even read a little bit. I wasn't originally planned, but I'll read a little bit of what the son, David Hand, who is the son of the original animator and director for the original version of Snow White, right, in the 1937 version. Okay, in telling the Telegraph in an interview with the Telegraph on August 18th, he said, and I quote, "It's a whole different concept, and I just totally disagree with it. And I know my dad and Walt would also very much disagree with it." And he goes on to say he said that, he goes on to say that he disagrees with the entire concept, calling it a disgrace. And he suggesting that Disney is trying to do something new with something that was such a great success earlier. Something that was so successful and so meaningful and so impactful to so many people, even generations afterwards, and you're trying to redefine it and remake it?
There's people now that are elderly that still have those tapes and they play them for their grandkids and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and people who grew up watching this aren't going to like it. I mean, who are you going to get to watch this?
And Disney, if it ain't broke, don't
fix it. Don't just create something new. If you guys are constantly worried about diversity being in your movies and TV shows, create something new with the diversity that you have. If you're saying there's not enough representation in the minority community for princesses, create a new princess.
Yeah. Create a whole new story.
Yeah. And
don't change it.
It's just they're consumed with woke ideology. They're consumed with pushing this onto your kids and pushing this into the mainstream, that they're not worried about actually creating good content. And if it's based on a story that's centuries old, if you're based on a story that's centuries old, they're not going to like the story because of whatever political ideology they insert here that they want to espouse. Maybe they want to espouse it's all about the monarchy and white supremacy, or nationalism, or they want to say that it's all about oppression and it's all about the whites, right? Well, I mean, okay, so why are you trying to remake it? Just create something to rival it, or create something that's inclusive for all and doesn't focus on skin color. Just having someone do a good story regardless of what they look like.
Erasing history. So 100 years from now, are the kids going to watch this Snow White or the original Snow White?
I hope it's the original Snow White.
Me too.
Or the DailyWire Snow White.
We still got
we still have to wait. But...
Cooper. Right?
Brett Cooper, DailyWire Snow White.
Yeah. You got the picture?
Yeah, I already, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pull it up again.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Okay, click. Come on. You can work. Okay, and pulled up.
All right, look at it.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Ben Shapiro, long hair.
No.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Yeah.
Does not look like Ben Shapiro. By the way, everybody says that.
They could be siblings.
Look,
bro.
I could agree that because of the eyebrows,
they could siblings.
And the dark black hair, they could be related, like maybe cousins. But I do not think that they look like each other. But also because I find Brett Cooper attractive, I really don't want to see Ben Shapiro in her.
That's why I did it.
Okay, but I just don't see it. Maybe the eyebrows.
I kind of see it.
But I don't see it. I
think they could be siblings, but obviously they're not. But they do have a resemblance.
Yeah, so we'll see how good this is. Either one. I think that the Disney one is going to flop. They spent over $1 billion on The Little Mermaid. That didn't do well at all. And then, hell, there's even a video of a little black girl who saw the trailer and she turned around. What is that? That's not Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid's white.
Yeah, I mean it's just don't change the originals, especially the big ones.
Yeah, so we'll see which one comes out better: the DailyWire Snow White and the Evil Queen, or the Disney Snow White. We'll see.
Yeah, and then, to me, like these kids that are growing up, that are coming up now, acting in these roles and stuff and producing them, tells you where their level of imagination that's been suppressed.
The fact that we're doing so many remakes, that in alone shows you that the imagination and creativity has been suppressed.
Yeah.
It is no longer there.
Nope. And that's what they're doing. They keep going.
No imagination.
None. Sad.
Thanks again for tuning in to the episode of America's Dummies. We greatly appreciate it. Again, if you could do us a favor and just go ahead and click that like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our YouTube or Rumble channel. And if you are not listening on YouTube, and maybe you're watching on YouTube, or Rumble, I should say, please go ahead and click the like and follow button on wherever you're listening, or it'll be Apple Music, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. And if you're not watching us, you should. We're pretty handsome. Go check us out. Anyways, and if you also want to, go ahead and support us. You can go to our official America's Dummies merchandise website and get your official America's Dummies merch, whether it be a t-shirt, sweatshirt, mug, tumbler, sticker, magnet. We got it all. Just go ahead and click the description below for the merchandise store, and you can support us and get your merchandise and spread the word. Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time.
Peace.